Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Royal Instinct. Today we're going to be watching a video about why Gen Z are not using dating apps anymore. We live in difficult times right now. One of the reasons why it is so difficult it is because of the internet and social media, which makes dating very hard. It was supposed to solve the problems of dating and make it easier because you'll be connected to an infinite number of people. Um, and you'll be able to choose the best fit for yourself. Now, everybody wants the best option for themselves. Everybody wants, nobody wants to settle. And women are the choosers. Men present themselves, and women pick and choose who they want to date. Okay. Um, and women want the top guys. And what these dating apps have created is a literally a buffet for the top 1% of men, and everybody else gets the scraps, gets leftovers. And women aren't happy. Initially they were happy because they were dating top tier guys, but then they realized that these guys aren't committing to them. And then what happened was, that they were left very frustrated and very disillusioned by men, and actually think all men are like that. They treat them like shit. And even the bottom guys who get no pussy, who get nothing, who just get the scraps, they also get thrown into this category and are told that they are just as bad as the people at the top, which is not true. Um, and men are disillusioned because they were getting nothing. And if they did get a swipe and were lucky enough to go on a date, they were met with someone who was very entitled, someone who was very um disillusioned of their value. And this created a skew in the dating market, which made it fun for nobody in the end, apart from the top tier guys. um you know, you might be asking, well, what is a solution? There is no solution, right? Like we are, this is where we're at. These dating apps will still continue. If the dating apps go away, Instagram is still there, social media is still there, and we live in an age of social media. The only thing that is left for you to do is to climb the social hierarchy, rise to the top, so you can become one of the top tier guys. Okay, and I don't mean just become a higher value guy. Go to the gym, sort out your money, whatever. You need to become famous. Okay, and I'm the only one telling you the truth here, right? You need to do whatever you can to become famous. And there are several options for you to do this. And I did use the word do whatever you can. um and if you want to do something stupid like become a prankster on YouTube, then go for it. But what we do here on this channel is we try to do it in a very tasteful way, in a very respectful way. We try to become subject matter experts. We rise to the top. We are seen as authorities, and therefore people will realize that we are have something of value to offer, that we become kings who are building their kingdom. Okay, and once you have a kingdom, once you've established a kingdom, and you are seen as the king of your kingdom, the dating opportunities will be coming to you from all sides, because all women would want to date the top tier guy. And this is how you achieve it. Even if you look at all your other favorite YouTubers who give you, dating advice, within the manosphere or whatever, they tell you, oh yeah, work hard, get your money right, go to the gym, eat good, get in shape, which is fine advice here. But to get top tier pussy in this society, just to get any pussy in society, if you want to be winning at the game, you have to build fame. You have to build your status. In essence, you have to rise to the top. You have to be seen as a top tier guy. And once you are able to do that, dating is a whole different experience, you see, because what will happen is you will be you will become the chooser. Women will be watching your content because you'll be a content producer, and they would have already worked out whether they want to date you or not. Okay, they would have already in their minds thought about, oh, do I like this guy? Okay, I like what he says, he's funny as this, yeah. And they would start imagining what it would be like to date you. She's already sold herself on the idea of dating you at that point. Okay. And what that does is then these women will make themselves available to you, and all you have to do is be like, yes, I'll date you, no, I won't date you. And then you have the pick of the, then you'll be eating at a top tier luxury buffet, getting to choose whatever the fuck you want. And if you're a little bit dissatisfied with one option, you might try it. You might go on a date with one woman and she does like one little thing wrong that kind of pisses you off. You don't have to put up with it, because there will be another woman to take her place. Okay. That is how the elites date. That is how the top tier guys date. And, in my opinion, that is the only way to date. Because once you are able to date like this, you are literally a king, right? Who gets to do what he wants, who gets to live life on his own terms. You live a life of freedom, and you'll be fully satisfied to a point where you never even dreamt of living this type of life. But let's get into this video. This is Tim Pool, who's talking about why Bumble are cutting staff at their dating app.
First, from the post-millennial, Bumble cuts staff as Gen Z turns away from dating apps. The other story we have, which I'll get into in a little bit, is that Gen Z, and once again, new polls are coming out showing Gen Z is going for Trump. And they're very similar stories. I mean, what we see with Gen Z turning away from dating apps.
I mean, if you look at this article, Bumble cuts staff as Gen Z turn away from dating apps. Dating apps were kind of cool when it first came out for millennials, but millennials quickly realized that this is not working. And then Gen Z have just seen how these apps have worked out for millennials, and then they were like, we're just not even getting involved. And it's kind of seen as an older person's strategy of dating. The thing with Gen Z is the majority of Gen Z men aren't dating at all, right? Dating happens on Instagram, dating happens on social media, which is why you need to create a kingdom on social media, which is why you have to create a following on social media. We are very, very, very soon going to be living our whole lives out on the internet. Okay. We are going to be plugged into the metaverse. We are going to be running around in the metaverse, socializing, working, whatever it is, communicating in the metaverse. And what that means is if you have no following, if you do not have a tribe, if you do not have a community in the metaverse, if you aren't already established in the metaverse, then you will be seen as a nobody at that point. Okay. It's very difficult to rise to the top. However, I have a great strategy that I share with the people in my mentorship, the people who come work with me. We become subject matter experts. We are seen as the authority in the thing that we are most passionate about in life, and that way we are able to establish a fan base, establish a following, and we are able to um, take over the whole scene in essence, because it's not just me doing this by myself. It won't be just you doing this by yourself. I am looking for 100 people who understand what I'm talking about, who understand the importance of doing this, who understand how there are no other options left at this point. People who understand that to make it in this world, that you need to be somebody with a following, right? You could be literally fucking doing a whole channel of how to fucking boil an egg, right? But as long as you have a following and people are interested in what you have to say, you'll automatically be seen as somebody of importance. Because when you meet someone and you say, "Oh yeah, follow me on Instagram," and you share your Instagram handles, and you see that you already have 30,000 followers, 40,000 followers, automatically you'll be seen as somebody who is important. And it's the only thing left to do, because AI is coming. AI will be taking over your job. So, you won't be able to work your way into a luxury life. You won't be able to save your way to living a luxury life. You have to become famous. You have to have a following. And that is the only way to protect yourself in this new world that we are moving towards.
And shifting towards Donald Trump is a conservatizing, or I don't even think it's a conservatizing, but the next generation is more conservative. And I think it has a lot to do with liberals don't have kids. They don't have kids. They abort their kids. They sterilize their kids. Conservatives have more kids. So the future is going to skew conservative so long as conservatives keep having kids. Here's the story. They say on Tuesday.
Well, the thing is, he puts it down to this is a left and right thing. This isn't a left and right thing. The elites have taken over both sides of the political parties. Now, the thing is, the left is seen as more progressive. The left is seen as more liberal. Okay, and if you're and if you're more liberal, you're seen as more free. Okay, it's a positive trait. Conservative is more like, let's keep everything the same. Yeah, let's be very slow and methodical about changing. Let's be very conservative and keeping up tradition. So conservatives tend to not want change, whereas liberals want progress. Liberals and progressives want freedom, or they want change and progress. So, and those are very positive traits. And what big tech does is they fund both sides. Okay, but they in public align more with the left because it's seen as more progressive. Um, and conservatives are seen as more who kind of hold power already, and liberals and the left are seen as more weaker, needing to fight to overcome some sort of injustice. And that's why these big tech companies, they align themselves with the left, when in essence is they just fund the left, get them to fight their battles, and in the end they take over total control of both sides. Okay, so the elites don't want, they don't want more babies being born. Okay, so the less population there is, the easier, the more people they have to control. They want to control you, they want to squeeze you their resources, they want to take over the entire scene, the entire game. And they want to lock you up and just plug you into the metaverse. Okay, they don't want you to have any type of humanity. They don't want you to have any type of freedom. And while you are busy fighting for the liberals, for the progressives, you as a person yourself gets nothing, because any type of change that comes about will be forgotten about in the few generations, because most people are dumb and blind to the long-term plan and the long-term vision that these progressives have. Okay, so um you have to be aware of what's coming. You have to be aware of the bigger picture, and instead of fighting, being on, oh, I'm going to be a liberal, or I'm going to be conservative. Yeah, Gen Z aren't going to be conservative. Okay, Gen Z, either way, they might vote for Trump. Okay, but that's because probably they're being influenced by you know TikTok accounts that are pro Trump. Right, Gen Z will just do whatever the content tells them to go towards. Okay, so that's why you have to become a content creator. That's why you have to make better content. You have to rise to the top, because so you can lead people, you know, towards the truth, right? And the truth is that both sides will fuck you over, and that we need to establish our own kingdoms, our own communities, because so we can protect ourselves from the oncoming dystopian world that these elites want you to live in.
Bumble released its annual earnings report, revealing the numbers were lower than expected. To tackle the decrease in demand, largely among younger demographics, the dating app announced that it would be laying off a third of its workforce and using the money it saved in salaries to reinvest in areas of business that would drive long-term growth. So this is huge. This is
That there won't be no long-term growth, because Gen Z won't be dating. Okay, dating will be seen as a thing of the past, because most of Gen Z, especially the men, they won't rise to the top. They'll be jobless because AI will take their jobs. They will be voiceless because they'll be plugged into the metaverse, just spoon-fed content, and weakened because they will cut out most of proteins out of your diet and just feed you some sort of sugary carbs just to please you and weaken you long term. Okay. So long term wise, population depopulation is the long term plan, and they want poor people, they want average people to just fizzle out of existence, not own any resources, not own any property, not own any houses, and just live a life where they literally just play video games for eternity until they die. And it's a very sad state of affairs. It's a very sad reality. But if you, I mean, don't get mad at me, right? Just do the research. Statistically, you know, more than 30% of 18 to 35-year-olds have not had sex in the last year. Okay, there's a significant amount of virgins in this world, and we're supposed to be the most liberal and sexually liberated society ever. But the only people that are benefiting are the people at the top, who are able to, you know, leverage their finances, who are able to leverage their popularity and fame to attract all these women, and then they just use and abuse them and then just dump them to the side. And in the end, most of women lose out and the majority of men lose out, and they're all going to end up, and the women going to become jaded and disillusioned and just hate all men because they get treated like shit from the few men that they do date. And the men are going to get disillusioned because they just can't find any love or kinship or romance in this world. Okay, and those things are very important. They're an integral part to the human experience. Um, and it is a sad reality that we are moving towards. But you watching, what the fuck can you do about this? Okay, the only thing that is left is for you to become famous, for you to build a following, for you to be seen as somebody who is popular online. Because once you're able to do that, women will self-select themselves, and they will come up to you to be part of your life, um, because most women see themselves as a queen, and all women, therefore, if they see themselves as a queen, they only want to be with a king. Therefore, you have to position yourself as a king. And how do you do that? Well, you have to build a kingdom. Okay, you have to build a kingdom. You have to become the king of your kingdom, the king of your domain. That's what kingdom means. King and domain, area. Okay, you have to become the king of that area. And the king of your kingdom that you establish, and then the women will come automatically. Okay, it's the only thing that's left. And the thing is, you don't have forever to do this, because more and more people are realizing that this is the only way. I mean, this is why Elon Musk is in the news all the time, because he realizes how powerful fame is. It is the ultimate leverage. It is the ultimate um, resource and power that is a key to all life's luxuries, to all of life's happiness. You know, because the material things don't buy you happiness, but the emotional experiences. Happiness is an emotional thing, right? If you have a positive reaction to gaining power, to build a kingdom, to have multiple lovers, to have a big network of friends, then that those things you will derive happiness from them. Okay, and then once you are in a positive spiral of happiness, more and more happiness will come flowing into your life. So you have to remember that that you have to make content, you have to become famous, you have to build your following. Here on royalinstinct.com, we are, I'm looking for 100 kings, 100 people who want to be part of this journey, who want to be part of a royal network, a network of kings who are all building their kingdoms. They're rising to the top, they are becoming the elites. We are overthrowing the elites. We will take no prisoners. We will decimate all our enemies, and we will become the new de facto rulers of the world. And because we are good people, because we have good intentions, we will therefore make sure that the people that we rule over are treated respectfully, humanely, that they have the choice to live great lives. Okay, we don't want them to suffer, we want them to thrive, and that is the type of world that we will be building.
350 jobs at Bumble. I think dating apps are garbage, and I think Gen Z is based AF.
I'm not trying to be negative here, but do we think that this could also be perhaps because people are consuming things like OnlyFans more and more, and they're just, doing that sort of stuff, and they're not actually going out in the real world? They're just kind of experiencing dating through pornography and things of that nature.
Probably, but I do think Gen Z is more based. So
That that is a statement he's making with no fucking facts. Gen Z is more based. How does he know? Does he speak to Gen Z? Right? He's a content creator, and he just reads. He's a political pundit now, and he just looks at these data sets and demographics. And the truth of the matter is, Gen Z is not based. Gen Z is fucked. Okay, Gen Z are living through times where the territory, the map of the terrain is ever changing. Okay, and the thing is now, if you tell Gen Z, well, how do you date? Well, you have to go up to a girl and speak to her. Well, at the same time is also, you have to respect boundaries. You have to, if the person that you're speaking to feels offended, right, and if she's a woman, then she is right. So you, as a man, have to present yourself in a non-threatening way, right? Yet the person that you're speaking to, might still be threatened by you. Okay, that is so. Gen Z have given up. That they're like, well, if I don't know what the rules are, if I make a mistake and I'm outed, I'm me too'd, potential jail, right? Socially ostracized. That then they're decided that they're not going to participate. And women lose out on this because they could have met a really nice guy who's a little bit shy and a little bit socially awkward, and they lose out on this person, because they felt a little bit awkward around him, and then they interpreted it as something that is negative, and then dismissed that person. Okay, and then they decided to date the one person that everybody dates. They have sex with him, and then he discards her, and then she's like, oh, all men are just shit, all men are trash, all men just use and abuse women, which is not true. um if you are watching this and you realize how fucked you are, I'm telling you, the solution is for you to become a content creator. The solution is for you to build a kingdom, for you to rise to the top, for you to be seen as a king by other people, for you to have a following. Because then you are become larger than life. Then your content does the talking for you, and you don't have to jump through all these hurdles to date someone. Women would have to jump through hurdles to get close to you and to date you, and that is the position that you want to be in. That is the position that a true king is in. And I only work with kings and future kings. If you realize what we are doing here on this channel, then reach out to me and we can see if we can work together.
Also, what we're seeing with younger generation is that the males are going very right and the women are going left.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think they're turning these dating apps into cash grabs too. Like Tinder, I used 8 years ago or 10 years ago. I started using it, and it was $5 a month, and now it's 40.
Mm-hmm.
40.
Wow.
It's even more than that. I think it's if you get the upgraded.
They have all kinds of bells and whistles you can pay for.
Well, there's a better app you can get. It's called like Millionaire Matchmaker or something. I don't know what it's actually called, but there are apps where it's like you have to prove you have a certain net worth to be on it.
Yeah, I saw an article about one where you.
I mean, even if you become filthy rich, or you come from a rich family and you are a multimillionaire, you have to prove that you are who you say you are. Okay. And then you're still putting yourself right. You're saying, "Oh, I'm this type of man. I'm a multimillionaire," and then the women line you up and still choose you, or discard you. Okay, you're still in a position of weakness. You're still in a position where you have no leverage. You might be better than the group of people who are not millionaires, so you're on a different bracket, but you're still being chosen. Okay, it's still not the position that you want to be in. This is why you need to become famous. This is why you need to build a following, because by doing this, by having a following, you are seen as somebody who's important. That's why most of Gen Z want to become social media influencers, because they realize the power that comes with it. Okay, that you go from a life of working hard to living life on easy mode, because opportunities then come your way and you get to choose yes, no, right? If you want that type of dating life, the only way to do it is by building out content, by becoming a content creator and rising to the top, being part of a network of royals, being a part of a network of kings, be seen as a king. And that is how you get into a position where you have leverage and are able to pick and choose who you date. And the hottest women will rise to the top in that scenario for you. So you will end up with the most beautiful women in your dating pool.
Had to have a certain credit score to be accepted.
There's farmers only. You got to be a farmer.
J-Date, I think,
Christian
is another
Mingle.
one.
J-Date.
I wonder if those are better because you have some stuff in common. Like Tinder is just you're literally in the area I'm in. I guess there's some ability to screen for like some things. I don't know. I've never used them, but the thing is,
They're all garbage.
the what gets me here is they're saying we're going to invest in other things to ensure long-term growth. But for a dating app, like is it Tinder? One of them has a slogan like "We're the app we want you to delete us" or something like that. That's a terrible.
Oh yeah, I know
slogan.
what you're talking about. It's not Tinder.
But, okay, Hinge maybe. The thing is, for Bumble to have long-term growth, that means they need there always to be a stable single population that's active.
Exactly. These apps want you to remain single. They want you to have a shit long-term dating life, but a fun short-term dating life. So you keep on staying on the app. So you keep on dating. Especially with population decrease, there'll be fewer and fewer people in the dating pool. Long-term, the dating market is fucked. Most people will be fucked. Most people watching this, you're never gonna get to date beautiful women. Most people will remain. And you might be dating someone right now, and I can just imagine the angry comments. Oh, I'm actually dating a fucking 9. I'm dating the woman of my dreams. Yeah, for how long? Okay, once you're plugged into the metaverse and we all living our lives online all the time, she'll be inundated 24/7 with with opportunities. Whereas right now, okay, if you go into the real world, if a woman goes to the bar, the men in the bar might hit on her. If she's on social media, if she's on Instagram, she might get some DMs. But in the metaverse, once we're plugged in, you'll be literally able to communicate. Like you'll be running around, right? Going to this avatar, going to that avatar, and then she'll just be, she'll be getting literally approached in the metaverse 24/7. Okay, and once she's experiences that, then you get to build a filtering system where you only let certain caliber of people come towards you. And again, it sounds like it'll be a very immersive experience where you're free to run around, but in essence, it will actually become very gate kept, and then there'll be barriers, and most of men won't be able to overcome those barriers, right? The only people who can overcome those barriers is if you have a following, if you build a network, if you are seen as somebody who is important to know, if you have a fan base, if you, in essence, have followers and become a celebrity.
Using it all the time. So what are they investing in? Like
anti-marriage lobbying?
Yeah, Ashley Madison. What are we?
Abortion?
Maybe like birth control ads, like whatever they're investing in. And it's not to downgrade their business model. And I know there are couples that meet on apps and are very happy together, but I don't know that their long-term growth is what I want. I also think generally, just personally, I think meeting someone in person and having a community that knows them is a much better way to vet someone.
But people aren't meeting anyone in person anymore. Okay. Most of Gen Z remain in their rooms. They never leave their rooms. They don't have any social life apart from online. And what these big corporations want to do is they want you 24/7 on their platforms. So you will never have to leave outside. And then where does the socializing happen? Okay. People remain friends with the people they meet at school, the people they meet at college, and that is the social group for the rest of their life. Okay, maybe people make friends at work, but in most cases, if you're at work, you're in essence in competition with your fellow colleagues. So there's always some sort of backstabbing, always some sort of ulterior motive, and you're around people that you can't trust. And then this is why I'm doing this channel. I'm building a network of like-minded people. I'm building a network of people who want to live a life of luxury, who want to rise to the top, and build a community based on trust, friendship, loyalty, where we are all on the same mission, where we all can rely on each other, and look out for each other's interests. And then once we all rise to the top, at least we'll have that solidarity, that network, that we went through tough times together, and that we'll be able to trust and have our best interests in mind with one another. Because why would you want to become rich and famous and live at the top just to be lonely, right? It shouldn't be lonely at the top. It's a party at the top. And if you want to be part of the party, if you want to join the party, then go to rawlinstinct.com. And until next time, I will see you later.